Hello. I like to do tarot card readings. I've been doing them for many years. I don't do them very often, and I don't do them for frivolous reasons. I usually do them for important reasons, and the reason why I use cards is because they express many things that are important in our lives. Love, hate, life and death, wealth and poverty, and it has a lot of spiritual aspects too. And if you can read the cards, you can have an idea of what might happen in the future, not because it shows us the future, but because it helps us visualize the future. Namely, it's what we have up here that matters, not what the cards say. They're just merely a reflection of the mirror of the mind. And today, I'm going to do a Obama tarot card reading because he just became president and he's under siege already. Many things are happening around him. I think he has no idea of the forces that are at work here because he has an idealized view of things. He's been fairly protected most of his life. He doesn't realize how much he's been protected. Unlike me, I've been flung to the four winds. I've been stomped on in 100 different ways, and usually life throws lightning bolts at me periodically. Just the other night we had quite a few here. That's why I didn't do a broadcast. And the power was down as well as the lightning. And so I have a good idea of how nasty it is out there, whereas he's a lot more naive about these things, even though he does realize his life is often in danger. So I already laid out the cards and then did a map of the cards, and I'm going to now lay them out a second time because I wanted this to be orderly. It takes me a long time to lay out the cards normally. I have to ask the right question, and then I have to lay them out one at a time and think very hard about what I'm doing as I lay out each one, and I say the name of the identity of each card. So I'll say, this is Obama, this is his top advisor, this is his opponent, this is his wife, and so on. And when you lay it out that way, you aren't going to be cheating by just saying, oh, I see this and this is happening and that's happening. It has to correspond with what I think as I lay down each card. Here's the cards all laid out. The center is always the person that one is making a question about. For example, I want to know what forces are at work around Obama and how they will affect his activities and what effect it'll have on the rest of us. So this middle card is Obama. There's two cards in the middle. I always use two cards. One card, the underneath one, is the actual person, and the number 2 card is their situation, how they feel about their present situation. This is now. Now, above the card, this is the second card I laid out, is his top advisor. The bottom card is the social situation where he lives in the White House. Then these two cards on either side is family and the voters who support him. The furthest out cards are the ones that are not personal. This is the economy and the state of the nation. That's true of all 4 of the outermost cards. This is the greater world at large, and their effect is much diminished compared to what's in the center. So let's overturn the cards and see what happens. The first card is the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords is indecision, or you're caught in a dilemma. I talk all the time about the horns of dilemma. The United States is encapsulated in the horns of dilemma. We are in a situation where we're trapped on it like this. And so no surprise that our leader is trapped on the horns of dilemma. Now, we're going to look at this next card. Person closest to him is the Queen of Wands. Wands is all about power and control. And the Queen of Wands controls a lot of things. And so what I see here is, well, his wife is the Queen of Wands. What's she doing there? She must be his main advisor. That's actually very interesting. Unlike Bush Jr., whose wife was not listened to by him at all. On the other hand, his other top advisor is the Pope or the Hierophant. Anyway, this is a guy who has a lot of religious things going on in his life, and it's extremely important to him. This is his major thing, is his religious affiliation, and he happens to be an Israeli, and I'm not surprised at seeing that card there. Now, let's look at the other side. Here is Judgment. Oh dear. This is the public, of course, and Love. Unfortunately, we have to judge him all the time. This is true of any president. All presidents are judged because, well, that's their job, is to be judged. Every day we judge what they do based on what we hear and what we see. What we hear and see is, of course, controlled by the media. So the one thing that he has going for him hugely is the card of love. We love him. There's a lot of people who love him. There's a lot of people who want him to do really, really well. There's a strong feeling of love. Let's go to the innermost part. Here's Obama again. His other card, very interestingly, is the Two of Pentacles, which is change. That floored me. I was like, ah, he does want to change. The change is important to him. He can't, though, because he's trapped in this matrix here. Because over here is Judgment, which is the card of the Last Judgment. And there's the Hierophant on one side. And opposing the Hierophant is his wife, who is the Queen of Wands, a very powerful woman. So let's go look out the outermost edges of this throw. And we see this is the card of poverty. It's the Five of Pentacles, and it's I will show this on my blog. It's about people being very poor. This is bad news for us, economically speaking. The other card is the Star. The Star, is an interesting connection here, because the Star is about water, moving water from one to the other. This is Aquarius. The Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups is all about water too. Love is a fluid thing. And of course, in here, we have duality, two types of duality, and it's resolved with the Star, who uses emotion to deal with this split personality, or suffering from desire to change but being pulled the other way. He's being yanked around violently. Believe me, absolutely violently. We have no idea how much this man's being yanked around. So let's go to the top here. Ten of Swords. Betrayal and assassination. And the King of Wands is on the other side here. This is power will be used against him, an outside force. He's not the power, he's the divided person in the middle. He's the man in the middle, and that's the somebody who has a lot of power that's out of the parameter of the White House, is going to control events. And a lot of us worry a lot about Obama, because despite the fact that he's not showing signs of tremendous leadership, because he's divided and frankly, I bet a little bit frightened, he's facing forces that are tremendously difficult to deal with for anybody under any circumstances. I feel sorry for him. I do ravage him in my own media because I want him to do the right thing, and he's not doing the right thing. He's doing a lot of wrong things. And he's doing the wrong things because he's trying to please the wrong people, but they're the people who are around him. They're the ones who surround him, and we're on the outside, and we have a lot of effect on him, but it's very peripheral, and the dangers are mounting. They're not going away.